I can't let you guys go before we talk about this Vanity Fair interview. I mean, I think at any holiday party you've been at this week, that's been the talk of the town here in DC. So Susie Wiles, for those that might not be keeping up with every minute of this conversation, she did a wide-ranging interview with Vanity Fair, the chief of staff, Susie Wiles. She offered some candid comments on members of the administration. For example, she called J.D. Vance a conspiracy theorist and said his switch from Trump critic to supporter was sort of political. She called White House Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vought a, quote, right-wing zealot. And she also talked about the president himself. Take a look at this quote. High-functioning alcoholics, or alcoholics in general, their personalities are exaggerated when they drink. And so I'm a little bit of an expert in big personalities. Wiles said Trump has an alcoholic's personality. He operates with the view that there's nothing he can't do, nothing, zero. The president defended Wiles in an interview with the New York Post. He reiterated that he avoids alcohol, saying in the interview he has a possessive and addictive personality type and that he wasn't offended by her word choice. Now, the administration has flooded with comments defending Susie. Every cabinet secretary, Donald Trump Jr., has posted about this. But the big question that I'm hearing, again, even from people close to the White House, is why? Why?
That is a good question.
Why do this? So, as the former communications director for the president, what is your assessment of what happened here?
Well, I'm going to give you a couple of quick comments. One, I found it very interesting. Really, she did not criticize the president, except for, and I don't even know.
And that wasn't necessarily
and that really
criticism.
wasn't necessarily criticism.
He ended up agreeing with it,
right.
Which is something to take a look at. The other thing, the photographs. No one's talking about these photographs.
Oh, I've been talking about the photographs.
Okay.
My group chats are blowing up over the photographs.
You want to know how much respect Susie Wiles gets in the White House? The fact that she was able to put all those people together in one room in that setting shows you exactly who has the power to command performance, and she does. And I think the aftermath, with almost the entirety of the Republican establishment, mega establishment, whatever, coming out and defending her, including the president, shows you the way that people respect the work that she's been doing, not just in the campaign, but then also in the White House. Now, you asked the other question, though, what is this all about? It was a series of interviews over a long period of time. My best guess when I first read and heard about the interview was, this is her exit interview. This is, and I'll just give you my frank analysis of this. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not in the first quarter of 2026, that the chief of staff steps aside, and and like most chief executives that you look at when they leave major companies, they will do a Vanity Fair style interview about what they were trying to accomplish, what they accomplished, how they view the organization, and that's what this felt like to me. Now I'm really stepping out of bounds and saying this on air, but
You're about to make some headlines here.
I know. That was my initial reaction to this. I think what you always want to watch for in Washington, D.C., though, is how people react afterwards, and the fact that everyone is huddled and circled the wagons for her, to use a Buffalo Bills term. That shows you how powerful Susie Wiles is.
But I mean, it's extraordinary, really, that she gave this interview and the things that she said. And it is very curious. And, the idea that they're trying to say, oh, it's taken out of context or fake news, all this. No, she did this, as Mike said, for 11 times. She knew who this guy was. She knew she was on the record. She's very smart. She's not some
Susie Wiles
rookie.
Is not naive when it comes
so
to
she wanted
the media.
to get this out there, it is curious. And there's some theories that, well, maybe she wanted to show I can say all this stuff and still remain in charge and remain the top person as a staffer. And certainly she's got everyone to rally around. All the cabinet rallied around. Even the president didn't criticize her.
And by the way, a lot of her observations, like my Republican sources, are privately saying she's right about
Well, that's what I was about to say. The thing is that the old joke in Washington, you commit a gaffe when you tell the truth. These things are true. And some of the substance, we're not talking about the substance of what she said. Talk about, for instance, the January 6th pardons. She basically was against that. And that was a terrible thing the president did, to pardon all of those people, including the violent ones who attacked Capitol Police officers. They should not have been pardoned. She talked about the way USAID just got dismantled and the horrific impact that had around the world for a relatively small amount of money. This is the Agency for International Development. We help developing countries around the world. Now we've ceded that to China and other countries. We're not doing the aid we were doing
and by
before.
the way,
There's a lot
that,
hold on, let me just finish the slide. She has a lot of substantive things that she said that we're not really addressing. And I think we need to focus on the substance of what she said and what is wrong with some of these things that happen. And it's fair game now. It's not just Democrats saying it. She's saying
to your point, knowing how Susie Wiles operates, if she's saying this in an interview to a Vanity Fair, she's probably saying this to the president as well, and that does kind of say a lot about the different sorts of voices and people that he has gathered in his cabinet.
And also look at the longevity that she has had with the president through the campaign, through the first year of the White House. You know, as I'm a short timer at the White House, so I can definitely see how difficult it is to stay that long. Just the pace on your the physical toll of it. So yeah, no, she's got that support, and it was again. I look at the perception of it
right.
and the style of it as you, and you were talking about the policy.
Right.
The style of it, that's she was definitely laying down a marker.
An extraordinary
Yeah.
story.
and,
Thank you.
And Mike may be right that she's, maybe she does want to leave, but the extraordinary thing is that she's not out now. Anybody else that said that would be out the next day. And the fact that now it's her choice, she's still staying there, is pretty
It
extraordinary.
says a lot
actually.
about the power
Yeah.
that she's amassed.
Yeah.
All right, Republican strategist Mike Dubke and Democratic strategist Brendan Daly, thank you both so much
Thank
for
you.
spending some